The Ferrari SF-24 car will be Red Bull's challenger in the first Grand Prix of the 2024 Formula One Championship. The Prancing Horse team has shown in the 3 days of testing to have largely resolved the tire wear problem with the harder compounds C1 and C2, while with the softer C3, the optimal setup was analyzed at the simulator in these pre-race days. In the meantime, Sakhir is filled with Grand Prix atmosphere. In the pit boxes, the preparation of the single-seaters is frantic. In the garages not visible from the pit lane due to the use of screens, there are also the second cars being set up, unseen during last week's pre-season testing session at the Bahrain International Circuit. Formula One is therefore in full swing. With the season opener scheduled for Saturday, every program has been advanced. Scuderia Ferrari concluded the tests with a very consistent SF-24. The red car is considered the main challenger to Red Bull, ahead of McLaren and Mercedes, and with a solid gap from Aston Martin. The Maranello team is aware of the materials provided by Enrico Cardil's technical staff, and the feeling is that the new car has overcome the endemic problems that had affected the SF-23 last year. There is the hope that this Ferrari has greatly exceeded the potential shown by the World Championship-winning RB19, but at the same time there is a strong doubt that the SF-24 will start as the F1 team capable of defeating the new Red Bull, especially given the fact that the RB20 represents a significant leap forward. Still, Red Bull may have some uncertainties at the start of the season due to the complexity of its project. However, when it gets into full swing, it could once again make a big difference. The Ferrari technicians have assessed that Max Verstappen, at least on paper, seems untouchable for Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz in terms of race pace, while Sergio Perez, less comfortable with a very fast but challenging and difficult to understand single-seater, designed for the Dutch triple world champion, could be vulnerable. No one says it explicitly, but Ferrari could be aiming for a front-row position. In Maranello, they feel this responsibility, and in the days that separated the pre-season tests from the first GP, they worked hard to analyze all the data collected during the 3 test days to assess, through simulation systems, what adjustments to adopt for the Bahrain Grand Prix. The SF-24 has shown a neutral behavior that makes it relatively easy for the drivers to handle. Now it will be possible to use some setup concepts without the risk of going out of the tire usage window on a track that is stop and go with accelerations and braking. The Ferrari SF-24 single-seater seemed very competitive in long runs with the harder compounds, C1 and C2, while with the softer C3, it experienced higher wear than expected. Therefore, the work at the simulator was focused on deliberating adjustments that cater to better utilization of the red-labeled tires. While a good balance has already been found at the front, the same cannot be said for the rear. It's not a design flaw in the new suspension, which has remained faithful to the pull rod layout. It is the only team, along with Haas, to have retained the pull rod. But rather, the technicians had prepared a wide range of adjustments, and the 3 test days were not enough to find the most suitable solution for the Sakhir circuit, in view of the race which takes place on Saturday. In the 3-day Bahrain testing session, changes to shock absorbers and bars, combined with ride heights and wing angles, have been sought to identify the best working base for the Maranello team to start the race weekend with the most competitive package possible.